Hello guys, in this lecture we are going to see Kyoto Protocol, which is related with energy audit and conservation. Let's see what is the Kyoto Protocol. Before start with the Kyoto Protocol, I would like to mention UNFCCC. It is nothing but United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The Kyoto Protocol is an international treaty which extends in 1992 by United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change that commits state parties to reduce greenhouse gas emission based on the scientific consensus that global warming is occurring and it is extremely likely that human made CO2 emissions, which is harmful to human beings. The Kyoto Protocol was adopted in Kyoto, Japan on 11 December 1997 and entered into force on 16th February 2005. There are currently 192 parties to the protocol. The Kyoto Protocol implemented the objectives of the UNFCCC to reduce the onset of global warming by reducing greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere to a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate system. The Kyoto Protocol applies to the 6 greenhouse gases that are nothing but carbon dioxide CO2, methane CH4, nitrous oxide N2O, hydrofluorocarbons HFCs, perfluorocarbons PFCs, and sulfur hexafluoride SF6. The protocol is based on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. It acknowledges that individual countries have different capabilities in combating climate change owing to economic development and therefore puts the obligation to reduce current emissions on developed countries on the basis that they are historically responsible for the current level of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. The protocol's first commitment period started in 2008 and ended in 2012. All 36 countries that fully participated in the first commitment period complied with the protocol. However, 9 countries had to resort to the flexibility mechanisms by funding emission reduction in other countries because their national emissions were slightly greater than their targets. The financial crisis of 2007-2008 helped to reduce the emissions. The greater emission reductions were seen in the former Eastern Bloc countries because the dissolution of the Soviet Union reduced their emissions in the earlier 1990s. Even though the 36 developed countries reduced their emissions, the global emissions increased by 32% from 1990 to 2010. A second commitment period was agreed in 2012, which is known as Doha Amendment, in which 37 countries have binding targets. Australia, the European Union and its 28 member states, Belarus, Iceland, Kazakhstan, Liechtenstein, Norway, Switzerland, and Ukraine. Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine have states that they may withdraw from the Kyoto Protocol or not put into legal force the amendment with second round targets. Japan, New Zealand, and Russia have participated in Kyoto's first round but have not taken on new targets in the second commitment period. Other developed countries without second round targets are Canada and United States. As of May 2020, 138 states have accepted the Doha Amendment, while entry into force requires the acceptance of 144 states. Let's see the background regarding Kyoto Protocol. The view that human activities are likely responsible for most of the observed increase in global mean temperature, that is nothing but global warming, since the mid 20th century is an accurate reflection of current scientific thinking. Human induced warming of the climate is expected to continue throughout the 21st century and beyond. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that is IPCC, which is formed in 2007, have produced a range of projections of what the future increase in global mean temperature might be. The IPCC's projections are baseline projections, meaning that they assume no future efforts are made to reduce greenhouse gas emission. The IPCC projections cover the time period from the beginning of 21st century to the end of 21st century. The likely range to have a greater than 66% probability of being correct based on the IPCC's expert judgment. And it is a projected increase in global mean temperature over the 21st century of between 1.1 and 6.4 degrees Celsius. The range in temperature projections partly reflects different projections of future greenhouse gas emissions. Different projections contain different assumptions of future social and economic development, which in turn affects projections of future greenhouse gas GHG emissions. The range also reflects uncertainty in the response of the climate system to past and future GHG emission measured by climate sensitivity. About the background, let's see the chronology. In 1992, the UN Conference on the Environment and Development is held in Rio de Janeiro. It results in the Framework Convention on Climate Change, that is FCCC or UNFCCC, among other agreements. In 1995, parties to the UNFCCC met in Berlin to the outline specific targets on emissions. In 1997, in December, the parties conclude the Kyoto Protocol in Kyoto, Japan, in which they agree to broad outlines of emissions targets. In 2004, Russia and Canada ratified the Kyoto Protocol to the UNFCCC, bringing the treaty into effect on 16th February 2005. In 2011, Canada became the first signatory to announce its withdrawal from the Kyoto Protocol. In 2012, on 31st December 2012, the first commitment period under the protocol expired. Under the background, we are going to see the Article 2 of the UNFCCC. Most countries are parties to the UNFCCC. Article 2 of Convention states its ultimate objective, which is to stabilize the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic or human interference with the climate system. Natural, technical, and social sciences can provide information on decisions relating to this objective, including the possible magnitude and rate of future climate change. However, the IPCC has also concluded that the decision of what constitutes dangerous inferences requires value judgments, which will vary between different regions of the world. Let's see the objectives of Kyoto Protocol. The main goal of Kyoto Protocol is to control emissions of main anthropogenic human emitted greenhouse gases in ways that reflect underlying national differences in GHG emissions, wealth, and capacity to make the reductions. The treaty follows the main principles agreed in the original 1992 UN Framework Convention. According to the treaty, in 2012, Annexure 1 parties who have ratified the treaty must have fulfilled their obligations of greenhouse gas emission limitations established for the Kyoto Protocol's first commitment period. It is of 2008 to 2012. The Kyoto Protocol's first round commitments are the first detailed step taken within the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. The protocol establishes the structure of rolling emission reduction commitment period. It set a timetable starting in 2006 for negotiation to establish emission reduction commitments for a second commitment period. The first period emission reduction commitments expired on 31st December 2012. The ultimate objective of the UNFCCC is the stabilization of greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere at a level that would stop dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate system. Even if Annexure 1 parties succeed in meet their first round commitments, much greater emission reduction will be required in future to stabilize atmospheric GHG greenhouse gases concentrations. Some of the principal concepts of the Kyoto protocols are binding commitments for the Annexure 1 parties. The main feature of the protocol is that it establishes legally binding commitments to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases for Annexure 1 parties. Regarding the implementation, in order to meet the objectives of protocol, Annexure 1 parties are required to prepare policies and measures for the reduction of greenhouse gases in their respective countries. In addition, they are required to increase the absorption of these gases and utilize all mechanisms available, such as joint implementation, the clean development mechanisms, and emission trading. In order to be rewarded with credits that would allow more greenhouse gas emissions at home. Another principal concept of Kyoto Protocol is nothing but the minimizing the impacts on developing countries by establishing an adoption fund for climate change. And also it complies with accounting, reporting and review in order to ensure the integrity of the protocol. Let's see the first commitment period, which is nothing but 2008 to 2012. Under the Kyoto Protocol, 37 industrialized countries and the European communities involves and commit themselves to binding targets to GHG emissions. The targets apply to the four greenhouse gases that are nothing but carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, nitrous oxide, N2O, sulfur hexafluoride, SF6, and two groups of gases that are nothing but hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, and perfluorocarbons, that is PFCs. The six GHG are translated into CO2 equivalent in determining reduction in emissions. These reduction targets are in addition to the industrial gases, chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs, which are dealt with under the 1987 Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. Under the protocol, only the Annexure 1 parties have committed themselves to national or joint reduction targets. Parties to Kyoto Protocol not listed in Annexure 1 of Convention are mostly low-income developing countries and may participate in the Kyoto Protocol through the Clean Development Mechanism, that is CDM. The Annexure 1 countries under the Kyoto Protocol, their 2008 to 2012 commitments as percentage of base year and 1990 emission levels, which are in percentage of all Annexure 1 countries. For most state parties in 1990 is the base year for the national GHG inventory and the calculation of the assigned amount. However, 5 state parties have an alternative base years. There are countries that are nothing but Bulgaria in 1988, Hungary, the average of the year from 1985 to 1987, and Poland 1988, and fourth Romania in 1989, and the last one Slovenia in 1986. This table shows with the list of the Annexure 1 parties. These countries, I'm showing here few of them, but you can see here the countries with Kyoto targets from 2008 to 2012. For example, for Australia, the Kyoto target from 2008 to 2012 are nothing but +8, and Kyoto target from 2013 to 2020 is nothing but -0.5. And for GHG, that is greenhouse gas emissions, in the period of 2008 to 2012, including LULUCF, is nothing but 3.2 for the Australia, and GHG emission gases for the period of 2008 to 2012, excluding LULUCF, is nothing but +30.3. Like that, with their targets, all the countries here showing, few of the countries is showing here, and near about 37 countries are employed or giving participation for the Annexure 1 parties in the period of 2008 to 2012. Thank you. Thank you very much.